for you tonight, but the guy with the equipment got real punk rock on us and decided he weren't bringing the fucking shit, so. But you never know, he might show up. So, I won't bore you for too long yet, I'll save it for a bit. So, the legendary Miss Alice Bag.
As you know, this is a reading, so there will be reading involved, and then we'll do some music. So I'm going to start off with a story of my childhood, and then I will play you a song from that time. And today, what I selected for you is Put On Your White Bonnets, It's Cine Time. I grew up watching Spanish language movies, películas de la época de oro. Films from the golden age of Mexican cinema were the ones my parents liked best. They'd seen them all before, but would never tire of watching Pedro Infante, Jorge Negrete, Libertad Lamarque, Pedro Armendáriz, and Silvia Pinal on the big screen. There were plenty of movie theaters in the hood which showed these movies, and it was our one splurge as a family to go to the movies on Dos por Uno night. A buy one, get one free special usually offered on a different night at each of the theaters we frequented. My mom and I would split one admission, then my dad would wait outside for another solo male to come along, and he'd split the admission with him. In order to cut costs even further, my mom would pack a half-dozen bean burritos wrapped in foil, along with some canned sodas and bags of chips or Fritos. Once inside the darkened theater, she would produce all of these from a seemingly bottomless bag of tricks like the one Felix the cat carried. If we were out of tortillas, my mother would make white bread, bean and cheese sandwiches. These were a tasty change of pace and probably uniquely Pocho cuisine. As soon as the lights went down, we'd start passing our feast around. And before long, we were transported to an impossibly glamorous black and white version of Mexico. It was escapism at its finest. In those days, you got to see 2 or 3 movies at a time when you went to the cine. Sometimes there were even live acts who performed in between the films. The $1 Million Theater in downtown LA was famous for its variedades. There, on weekend afternoons, we'd watch the first movie, then be treated to touring singers, actors, jugglers, comedians, dancers, ventriloquists, gymnasts, mariachis, you name it. The word variedades means variety, and there was certainly plenty of that. Young men and women would walk up and down the aisles with large trays strapped around their necks selling cigarettes and bonbons and candy. It was a total experience. Back in the 1960s, Broadway was still the vibrant commercial center of downtown LA and an important part of Latino life in the city. The $1 Million Theater was one of the few remaining grand movie palaces on Broadway, a Baroque time capsule from a long-gone age of opulence and architectural craftsmanship. I especially recall the beautiful interior alcoves and balconies where my family would sometimes sit to watch a movie. On one such afternoon, I was getting bored with the movie and asked my mom for some change to buy a toy from the vending machine in the ladies' bathroom. Those machines used to stock all kinds of goodies, from small plastic toys for fidgety kids to lipstick combs and emery boards. To keep me out of her hair, my mom gave me some change and let me go to the bathroom to get myself a little toy. When I got there, I discovered not one, but 2 vending machines. The second vending machine didn't have a glass front showing all the different goodies that could be purchased. This puzzled me. And as I stood there wondering, a woman came up and put some coins in. She was rewarded with a little white paper bag. Aha! I figured it must be a grab bag type deal. I knew from shopping with my mother, who often bought grab bags full of fruit and soon-to-expire bread at the market, that you could get more for your money if you were willing to take a chance. I was excited by the prospect of getting something really special, a real special surprise treat. So I put my money in the machine and turned the knob. Out slid my little white paper grab bag. I tore it open and pulled out a small white pillowy-looking bonnet. It had 2 straps that didn't quite fit around my ears, and I was disappointed that I couldn't get it to stay on my head straight away. I ran back to the balcony where my parents were seated about 5 rows up. I stood at the bottom of the stairs and proudly wearing the sanitary pad on my head, I called out to my mom, "I didn't get a toy, but look what came out!" My mother, mortified, rushed down to me as some of the audience members suppressed snickers while others glared at me. My mom whisked me up and out of sight. I asked her why she was angry with me, but she couldn't quite tell me, except to tell me, "Those things are for ladies." When I asked her how they were used, my mother couldn't tell me. The mystery of the little white bonnet would remain unsolved until 6th grade, when my teacher would show our class a film about the miracle of menstruation. Thank you. When I was growing up, my father used to love rancheras. And, we used to listen to, well, a lot of Miguel Acevedo's music, and he had a song called No Soy Monedita de Oro, which means I'm not a little gold coin. And the sentiment of the song is, everybody likes a little gold coin, and I'm not for everybody. I'm not like that little gold coin. If you don't like me, too bad, basically. So I grew up listening to that, and you know, you hear that over and over, and pretty soon it turns into punk rock. Since I don't have a mariachi here with me to accompany me, I'm going to make it a punkchetta. And I'm going to be joined by Lisa Flores. Oh, you can do better than that. Come on, Lisa Flores! Angie Scully. Ricky Six. And Tracy Scully. All right, we'll give you No Soy Monedita de Oro en español. 1, 2, 3, 4. No tenías el tope, sabes que tierra que no paliza, por más que calles, calles, no te dejan como una mula a que no calles. En tu casa no me quieren. Porque la paz me cantando y que soy mariachi y que no tengo pa' cuando aquel traje de moda que siento que estoy cuidando. Soy monedita de oro pa' caerle bien a todos. Oh